Hey everyone, welcome to my channel Yoga with Jen. My name is Jen and today's practice is called Shift into Fall. So this is a slower moving practice, just moving really mindfully, include some poses like Warrior Two and Squat Pose, Earth Salutations, as we contemplate this transition into the fall season. It's important to slow down and to contemplate on some practices that help us to feel grounded. So anytime we go through any transition, whether that's a seasonal transition or a transition in our life, it's important to take time for self-reflection, slow movement, and just to recommit to some self-care practices. Hope you enjoy the practice. Thank you so much for joining me. We're beginning today's practice in mountain pose. If you like, you can set a blanket across the middle of the mat, and you might use your blocks and set those to the front short side of the yoga mat. Turn to face the front short side of the yoga mat, and you can let your hands come together over your heart in prayer. And we can get started by just noticing the feet and the weight across the feet. You can feel just a little bit of gentle swaying across the feet, rocking a little more weight into the balls of the feet and then into the heels. Eventually, seeing if you can balance across the heels and the balls of your feet. Lift the 10 toes away from the floor to get just a little more rooting through the inner balls of the feet, the outer balls of the feet, inner heel, outer heel. Reach up nice and long through the crown of your head. Okay. Try to keep that lift of the arches of the feet as you let your toes come back down to the mat, and then take a deep breath in. Sweep your arms down and then out to the sides and up and along the sides of your face. Turn your palms in to face one another. Feel your biceps gently hug in a little bit toward the ears and draw the tailbone slightly down. So you feel a lift in the side waist area. Take one more deep inhale. And as you exhale, just start to let your arms go back out to the sides. Allow your hands to come down toward your hips and then let them join back at the heart. And then again, you might just let a little bit of weight just kind of rock forward and then back into the heels. And eventually seeing if you can balance the weight across the balls of the feet and the heels while lifting the 10 toes away from the floor, spreading through the toes, feeling the lift in the arches of your feet. See if you can keep that and allow your 10 toes to come back down. Breathe in, circle sweep your arms, reach your arms back up by your ears one more time. Now this time you can keep your arms apart, or if you like, interlock your hands. Flip your palms up to face the sky. Draw your biceps in a little bit toward your ears. Feel your biceps draw in as you reach the palms up to face the sky and the feet root down to the earth. Focus your eyes. One more breath in. Now, as you're exhaling, begin to let your hands release. Let your arms go out to the sides. Bend your knees and feel your body hinge forward over your legs, coming into the forward fold. Hands can be on the blocks or the floor. You're going to breathe in, let your knees bend so that you're bringing your sitting bones down, almost like you would for chair. And you're going to let your arms go out to the side, almost like wings of an eagle, as you reach out through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, you're going to let your hands come back down to the blocks or to the floor and start to send your sitting bones up a bit toward the sky. So just start to fold in toward the legs. And then again, inhale, just start to let your knees bend. Bring the sitting bones down. Reach out long through your spine. Let your arms go out to the side. Draw the low front ribs in. And then as you're exhaling, let your hands come down and let your hips start to reach up toward the sky. And then one more time, inhale, let your knees bend, draw the low front ribs in, let your arms go out to the side, reach out through the crown of your head. And then as you're exhaling, let your hands come down and shift your hips up toward the sky, just giving a gentle bow in toward your legs. Now inhale, hands on the blocks, or they can glide up to your shins. Lift your belly away from your thighs. Just taking halfway lift, hands on the blocks or the floor. Now as you're exhaling, putting a little more weight into the right foot so your hands can come down and you can step your left foot back. So we're going to take the back heel and we're going to spin it down to the mat, warrior two legs. So you're going to inhale, let your arms cartwheel around and up, facing the left long side of your mat in the warrior two pose. So you might take a minute and just do any kind of adjusting with your feet that you need to do. We're just going to take a flow from warrior two and triangle pose. So here's your deep breath in, and as you're exhaling, you're going to press into your feet, start to straighten your right knee and just let your body hinge out over your right legs. Your right hand can lightly come to your shin bones, left arm reaching up. And as you breathe in, allow your right knee to once again bend, warrior two arms and legs. Exhale, press into your feet, begin to straighten your right knee. And allow your right hand to tip down, lightly connecting onto your shin bones. And then as you inhale one more time, warrior two pose, lengthen out through your arms. Exhale as you begin to straighten your right knee, and you're going to bring your right hand down onto your shin bones. So we'll pause for an extra cycle or two of breath. You might look down at your right hand, just noticing the lowest ribs on the front of the body. Draw them slightly together just so you feel like you're connected to the strength at the center of your body. So just notice the low belly region below the belly button and send a feeling of energy down through your legs and into your feet, stabilizing through the legs and feet. On your next breath in, rise up through warrior two, straighten your right knee, turn your right toes. Left toes turn to face the back short side of the mat, and you're going to allow your left knee to bend into the warrior two pose. So same flow here. Here's your breath in, and as you're exhaling, allow your left knee to bend, taking your left hand to the left shin bones as you reach up through the right arm. And then breathe in, rising up, left knee bends, arms extend out. The nice wide feet to help you feel stable and grounded. As you're exhaling, start to press into your feet, straighten your left knee, open across the heart space, and then one more time, that same flow. Breathe in, warrior two. And then as you're exhaling, press into your feet, straighten your front left knee, reach up through your right arm. Pause there for just a moment. You might take your gaze down toward your left hand. You're going to take your low ribs on the front of the body, gently draw them in. Tailbone gently draws down. Take a deep inhale and exhale. And then as you're breathing in, you're going to allow your left knee to bend. Let your arms come back out, warrior two, and then you're going to straighten your left knee. You're going to lower your hands down. Now, you're going to spin your heels in and spin your toes out for a wide goddess squat. So just slide the hands down so that they land like above the knees, so still on the thighs, knees over the ankles. Lean the body about 10 degrees forward. We're going to do a little bit of twisting here. So you can take your front right shoulder and you're going to let your right shoulder come down toward the floor as your back left shoulder draws in toward the line of your spine. And then you're going to come through the center. And then you're going to let your left shoulder tip down and take your right shoulder. Draw the right shoulder back. Let's go one more time for that twist. So come back to the center. Nice deep breath in. And then as you're exhaling, right shoulder is going to come back down. Okay, and then as you inhale, come through the center. And then exhale, left shoulder comes down. All right, and then inhale, come through the center, press into your feet, allow your knees to straighten. Turn your 10 toes to face the long side of your mat. Slide your hands up to your hips. You're gonna take your elbow points back. Breathe in, press into your feet. You might even lift your 10 toes like we did at the beginning in that initial mountain position. Open through the front body, open slightly through the throat by elevating through the chin. As you exhale, begin to lean the body forward, reach out long through the crown of the head. You might have a little more weight in the balls of the feet versus the heels. As your body becomes about parallel to the floor, let your hands come down beneath your shoulders. Walk your hands forward. Wide stance, downward facing dog. Go wide with your hands at least as wide as your shoulders, maybe a little wider. Press into your hands, spread through your fingers. Feel a light lift of the sitting bones. Wide down dog. Deep inhale. Sighing exhale. Deep inhale. One more time. Deep breath in. Walk your hands in under your shoulders first, and then begin to walk your hands toward your front right foot. Spin off your back left heel. Framing your right foot, put a bend in your back left knee. Press off of the left foot and step the left foot forward. It's going to bring your big toes and your heels together so they touch. You can bring your hands so that they're supported on the blocks. Inner knees and thighs hug together. You're going to bend your knees into a variation of a squat. So you want to press down into the root of like the big toes, the base of the big toes. Hug your inner knees and your thighs together, and then you can start to come back up with your body a little bit. So your shoulders, you just lean up. So you're in squat, but your shoulders are stacked over your hips. So you can always adjust the blocks. You can use the blocks on a higher height. You can move them out to the side so they're kind of like stilts for your hands. So if you hug the inner thighs in toward one another, take your tailbone slightly down, and then you may be able to lift up through the hands. Bring the prayer hands together at the heart space. Lift the heart space toward the thumbs and focus your eyes. Take a deep inhale. And a deep exhale. One last round of breath in, and then as you're exhaling, you're going to take your hands down, let your hips go up, take your feet a little bit wider, and then you're going to breathe in, slide your hands up onto your shins, reach out long through the crown of your head. We're going to go to down dog. So let your knees bend, plant your hands, step your feet back, downward facing dog. Walk out through your knees. Walking out through the feet, just keep anchoring through the hands, reach out long through the crown of your head. All right, we're going to take a few earth salutations here, which include a plank pose. So you're going to take your next breath in. You're going to roll your hips forward out into the plank position. So reach out long through the crown of the head as your hips come into plank. And then as you exhale, take your knees to the mat and then move your hips back to child's pose. So let your torso fold in toward your thighs, extended child's pose. Breathe in, rock up, ground into the balls of the feet, and as you exhale, lift your knees, downward facing dog. Let's try that again. Inhale, shift your hips forward. Plank position, reach out long through the crown of the head. Exhale, take your knees down. Move your hips back toward your heels. Reach out long through your arms. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale, shift your hips forward, come out into plank pose. Exhale, take your knees down to the mat. Shift your hips back toward your heels. Child's pose. Inhale, rise up through all fours. Ground down into the balls of the feet. And then float your knees up into the downward facing dog. So just a little bit of dynamic downward dog split just to open up through the backs of the legs. So we're going to step the left foot maybe an inch or two toward the center. You might even allow your left knee to softly bend. Reach out through the crown of the head. You're going to breathe in, lift your right leg up into down dog split. Right heel lifts to the sky. As you exhale, lightly tap your right big toe down on the floor. And then as you inhale, re-extend up through the right heel, down dog split. And then as you're exhaling one more time, lightly tap the right big toe down to the mat. And then as you inhale, lift the right leg up, down dog, split. Okay, and then as you exhale, curl your right knee into your chest for a moment. Press into your hands, draw your knee and your nose toward one another. Draw your belly button in toward your spine. Take another exhale here. And then as you're breathing in, send your right leg back up. And then as you exhale, set the right foot back down on the floor. Good. Pause here. Take a deep inhale and a deep exhale. Let's repeat that on the second side, and then we'll lower the knees down. So take your right foot, step in an inch or two to the center with the right foot. You might bend a little bit into your right knee. You're going to inhale, send your left heel up to the sky. Exhale as you lightly tap your left big toe down. Inhale as you lift your left heel back up, down dog, split. Exhale as you lightly tap down. One more time that way. Inhale as you reach the left heel up toward the sky. Exhale as you lightly tap down. This time we'll lift the leg up, lift the heel up. We're going to draw the knee into the nose this time. So exhale, curl your knee into your chest. Round through your spine. Hold here for a moment. Take a last exhale. And then as you're inhaling, extend your left leg up toward the sky. And as you exhale, let your left foot come down. We'll take the knees down to the mat, lower the knees to the floor. Inhale, release your belly to the mat, cow tilt. Exhale, press into your hands. Take your tailbone under and around through your spine. Inhale, come to neutral. Shift your hips around to the right or to the left with your hips, legs swinging out the opposite direction. So you can take the blanket, fold it up, and just slide it right underneath of your sitting bones. You're going to take your left leg, extend it straight out, and then open it maybe 20 to 30 degrees. Bend your right knee, place your right foot flat. We're going to do an open twist. So left hand back behind you on the mat or your blanket, right elbow bent to the inside of the right knee. Press into your left hand and begin to turn through the belly, turn through the chest, just an open twist. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. And then slowly bring your body back around. Let's switch to the other side. So you're going to take your right leg out, 20 to 30 degrees open to the right. Bend your left knee, place your left foot flat. Take your right hand back behind you. Left elbow to the inside of the left knee. Ground down into your hips and press through your right heel as you begin to turn through the belly, turn through the heart. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Last inhale and exhale here. And then as you're breathing in, you're going to come back around. You're going to allow the soles of your feet to come together in the bound angle position. Just going to sit up nice and tall so your legs have this diamond shape, soles of the feet pressing together. Just reach up through the crown of the head. So you're just going to start to tip your body forward. So you can start with a longer spine. If you like, you can take your elbows, just give a real gentle press into the inner knees pressing back into the elbows. Gaze is down. So you can stay here. You can walk your feet a little wider, so a little bit further forward so the diamond is wider. And you can give just a gentle hinge at the hips, maybe rounding through the spine a bit. Taking the chin slightly in and the gaze down. Just thinking of the pose symbolizing turning in, slowing down. This junction at the seasons is an opportunity to just sort of reflect on where you've been, where you're headed, and take some time for downtime, rest, relaxation. It's an opportunity for recommitting to practices of self-care. So a regular meditation practice, regular yoga practice, routine eating schedule, and sleeping schedule, all of those things are so beneficial to our health. So taking a last breath in and a last breath out here. And then very slowly bringing your body back up. And you can cross your legs. So you're back in that simple cross leg position. You're just going to take a breath in. You're going to allow your arms to sweep around out to the side. And at the top, you can interlace your hands and stretch up through your index fingers. And then just reach the index fingers up toward the ceiling as you ground down into the sitting bones, holding here for just a moment. Okay, take one more breath in, and then as you exhale, let your arms just start to release out to the sides. Let your hands come down. We're going to do that one more time. I'm just going to turn out to face you for this very last one. So just still sitting in that simple cross leg. Just take a breath in. Let your arms sweep out to the sides. Interlace your hands, stretch up through the index fingers. Draw the biceps in toward your ears. Take a nice deep breath in. And then as you exhale, just let your arms sweep back out to the sides. Let your hands join together over your heart, sit tall. The light within me sees and bows to that same light that exists within you. Namaste.